Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Ashcraft if you are new here. You can find me on Instagram at that same name. Everything is linked and spelled below. I share usually my daily progress on my whips on my Instagram stories, and then sometimes I'll post like my finishes and my FFOs. And so you normally will get a little sneak peek over there about what I'm going to talk about here. So how's everybody's day going? How's everybody's week going? This is Flosstube number 15. This is going up on January 15th, so that's a great timing, 15/15. I got my afternoon coffee. I think that's a little too sweet, but that's okay. I'm going to drink it because I love coffee like a Gilmore. Okay. I'm gonna try not to move so I don't have this weird lighting thing going on. I hope that this will be less than 30 minutes long. I say that every week. There is a hair somewhere on my face. Okay. I say that every week, that I don't have a ton of stuff to talk about, but I still end up talking for a very long time. I know I inherited that trait from my father. He could talk for hours to a wall. So let's jump right in. Okay, I'm sorry. If this lighting issue keeps going on, I apologize in advance. So my first whip that I worked on was my Christmas wreath Sal stitch along with the frosted pumpkins. I have finished part 2. Look at this bad boy, this beast of a bow. This bow took me 9 days to do. It was rough and it's beautiful. I only had to frog once, twice, not really sure. So part 3 comes out. Got my, this notebook is great. I am keeping up with it. Part 3 comes out, next Friday, the 22nd. Sweet deal. And that will be this portion right here. So I'm excited to actually start working on the wreath portion now that the house and the bow are done. This is going to be a pretty decent size. Their idea is that it's going to be made into a pillow. That's their suggestion for an FFO. We'll see if I do it. I might do it and then put it like in my office. I think that would be cute to have in my office during Christmas time. So yeah, I was very excited to finish this because this was a beast. And I'm done with you. Okay. Not really. I love this. I think the only part I haven't enjoyed is the bow, but even then it was like, I just want to be done stitching red. I still liked the whole thing. Okay. I was going to start working, once I finished the bow, I was going to start working again on my Paul Hollywood project because this month is my best friend's birthday and I'm doing the Paul Hollywood project for her. But that was until I received the floss for my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. So, did I also receive the fabric this week? Yeah, I think I did. So I ordered fabric, and this, we'll kind of talk about haul a little bit right now too. I ordered some Be Stitch Me fabric. I got 2 pieces from Fight Night and then one that was ready to ship from her website that I had her add on to my Fight Night order. And the one that was an add-on is what I ended up using to start my Christmas list. So this is my Christmas list. I feel like everybody and their mother has done this except for me and Dawn, who I'm doing this as a stitch along with. She is Create From the Heart on Instagram. And so we're doing this. She hasn't started it. I kind of jumped the gun because I got all my stuff, but she's going to start it soon. So, so that is this. This is charted with DMC. And Priscilla from Stitching with the Housewives, she did her own conversion using Classic Colorworks. Well, I decided I didn't really want to use DMC. I didn't really want to use Classic Colorworks. I wanted to do my own conversion, and I wanted to use an overdyed floss from like a small business. And so I decided, because I've been so intrigued and have heard nothing but good things about them, I decided to do Forbidden Fiber Co. So I received my order this week. I'm gonna go through all my colors. This is the color Fabric. Whoa, I got a lot of string. Got a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is my fabric. It is a 32 count Lugana. It's like a blue color. Let's see. That's a pretty good representation. I've only worked on this 2 nights, and I am this far. So I got the first set of words done, which is family visits. I got the string for the string of lights done, and then I got the tree for the Christmas tree on top of the car. And then I just started putting in a few stitches of the car so that I could remember where I was and what I wanted to do the next time. I decided not to put in the the lights yet, because I'm toying with the idea of doing a metallic thread or something sparkly, like a toile or Kreinik, or I don't know. So I might leave these for the end. And the reason I say this is because, so you have the light bulbs, you have the star, Bethlehem. Is there another one? There's a candle. You got a star and moon. So I thought, you know, it might be kind of cute to have a couple spots where you have more, you know, like metallic or type threads. So I'm toying with that idea, which is why I decided not to fill those in yet. So, and I'm not totally following the colors that are on here. For the most part, I am. There was one day where I went to Joann's with the list of floss, and I like wrote down what each color was, because it only has the numbers. It doesn't tell you like, this is a light pink, this is a dark gray, you know, things like that. So I'm just kind of going based off this picture to see what I want to do. So for my colors here, this string of lights and the tree are mistletoe. This is Family Visits is in Peacock, and then I'm doing the car in, where'd it go? Deep Sea Dive. And I'm hearing the leaf blower. I sat here for 20 minutes waiting for this leaf blower to come by and leave, and now it's back again. So we're gonna take a short intermission. He's like right outside my door. Lots of noise. And the reason I'm pausing is not, I doubt it's gonna be that loud for you, but it's really distracting to me. So how's everybody's week going? Okay, if you saw on my Instagram my request for happy thoughts, I don't think any family or friends watch my channel. But the reason I did that was because I found out this week that my mom had a mild stroke, and she waited to tell us until she was being discharged from the hospital. So there's a lot of emotions. I was upset about the stroke. I was upset that she waited to tell me. This week has just been, it's just been like one thing after another. That happened. some things happen at work with like calendaring, things at daycare. There's a fraudulent charge on my credit card. Just, it was like one thing after another. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, just be positive. Do not try to make this worse than it is. So, but cross-stitching has become my like form of therapy. It's what I do to de-stress at the end of the day. So talking about it right now with all of you guys is making me feel a little less stressed. So anyways, I think the leaf blower is gone, so I'm going to continue. Okay, so mistletoe is this green color for the string of lights and the Christmas tree. Peacock is this light blue color, and then I've started the car in deep sea dive. And so I'm going to show you I'll show you by grouping. So here are the two blues that I'm using. So here's Peacock and here's Deep Sea Dive. I specifically chose Deep Sea Dive because of this car, because I have a 1965 VW Bug. It was my first car. It's what I learned to drive a stick shift on. I had to teach my husband how to drive it when I was 9 months pregnant with my daughter. And so it is a car that has a lot of meaning for me. And this color is almost identical to the color of my Bug. So I specifically chose this to match my car. So these are the blues. This is the red I'm going to use, which is English Rose. It looks like the only red is really like Old Saint Nick and then some accent pieces here and there. So I'm thinking I'll be fine with just one red, but if not, I have pulled 2 Weeks Dye Works reds just in case, and these are Aztec Red and Red Rocks. I don't plan on using them unless I really feel like I need a different red for any of those places that need a red. Speaking of Weeks Dye Works, I emailed them as a last-ditch effort to more so tell them what I said last time in my last video about the PR aspects of everything. And they did respond to me rather quickly, probably within 10 minutes, telling me that they went ahead and changed the color of the floss. So now it is just called gray. And they've changed it on their website. But a couple people have seen that they have not changed it on their order form. And I asked them when online LNSs would be changing the name like on their websites, or when they would be instructing them to change it. And the girl that I was talking to said she didn't have any information about that. So it's a slow process. I get that. And at least it's a step in the right direction. I just wish that we would have found out a lot sooner. There's so many issues with PR that I could address with this, but I'm not. So, so I don't plan on using these for this project, but I have them pulled just in case. My greens, I do have doubles of some of these. Oh gosh, this light. I do have some doubles of some of these just because one, I thought I would need more, but also I really like the color in general. And so I was like, I will totally keep this for my stash. So mistletoe is this. It's like a dark green, and I have 2 of those. I'm trying to make it not blown out. Then I have Christmas ivy. Here, let me pull down one of these. Christmas ivy. Let's hope that these don't blend in with my sweater. I have a second one of Christmas ivy because I liked that color as well. Then we have sage, which is slightly lighter. Let's try this. Okay, that works. That works. That's fine. Sage, and then this is Pacific Pine. And I'll hold all the colors up at the end because I do have a few comments about my color theory for this. Look at me using big words and things. And then I have my neutral tones. And I know that there are other colors in this. Like, I think there's a pink. I think pink may be the only color I don't really have, or like a really light blue. If I get to that section and I feel like I need a pink or I need a whatever, then I'll find one and I'll sub it out. But for the most part, I'm going to stick with this this color palette that I've chosen. So then on my neutrals, oh, I also need black and white, but I haven't pulled those yet. I'm just gonna use DMC black and white for that. So here is Old Penny, which is my darkest brown. We have Brown Sugar, which is slightly lighter. Then we have Jingle Bells, which is kind of like a muted yellow. And then we have Winter Wheat, which is a little bit of a light yellow. We have Frankincense, which is it's a good neutral color. And then the last one is Vintage Ornament, which is like a grayish color. So, and let me hold all these up in a way that I don't drop them. So my idea, because I have seen people do this with DMC, and I do think that it looks pretty. I do think that it looks kind of vibrant. And even the classic Colorworks conversion that Priscilla did seemed vibrant too. I didn't want anything super, super vibrant because I don't feel like my Christmas decor are vibrant colors. I feel like they're more muted. Like the berries that I had on my tree were a matte red. So they weren't like, so here's all of the colors together. I love this palette. I mean, this is my first color conversion and I'm kind of obsessed with it. So these are all of my colors. I really, really like how it is. But you will notice all of these colors are a little bit more muted, and that's because I feel like my decor for Christmas is not super vibrant. It's more muted. It's the classic Christmas colors, just not in your face. So I'm very excited about that, and this is where I'm at. So I'm going to kind of make a plan because the idea is to be done before Christmas. There are, let me see. Try not to show too much. 1, 2. There are 3.5 pages of the pattern. So I'm gonna go through and kind of figure out a plan of like, okay, I want to be done with this entire page by this time. So I'll probably only work on this, you know, only a couple times a month or so, or like 1 week out of the month or whatever the case may be. And so I do need to go through and do that. But yeah, I'm so excited because these colors, man, they're so pretty. And this floss is just, it is soft. It is so easy to work with. I highly recommend Forbidden Fiber. And the shipping was so quick. I am, for now, keeping it in my London bag. I do know I will be getting at some point a different bag. So it will not be in this bag forever. So, and that kind of leads us into our haul portion because once I finished the wreath, the bow on the wreath, I started working on my Christmas list, and I'll probably work on that for maybe another day or so. I think I want to finish the car and then I'll probably put it away. So that'll probably be another day or two. And then I'll start working on some other stuff. So I did buy some more Forbidden Fiber floss to have in my stash. Let me pull up my notebook again. That seemed to work. So these are just colors that they looked beautiful or I liked the name because I'm that type of person. So this is Sugar Plum, which is like a beautiful variegated purple. It has a slight variegation, not too extreme. This is Twilight Mauve, and I will say I'm not usually a snob about how people pronounce words. It just, you know, it is what it is. You pronounce words how you pronounce it. But it is, I used to watch a lot of beauty YouTube, and it drove me insane when people pronounced it mauve instead of mauve. So this is Twilight Mauve. And this is a beautiful, beautiful looking variegated purple. Okay, so one that I'm like, I have to find a pattern to use this because this is like the coolest color. This is Scarecrow. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. It's like yellow, blues, and blackish blue, and a pink. How beautiful is that? I love it. So then these two, you'll probably know exactly why I picked them. These are Slytherin and Ravenclaw. So here's Ravenclaw, and this is a variegated blue and gray, and then this is Slytherin, which is a variegated green and gray. So I think because I'm doing Frogwarts, I'm gonna try to find parts of the patterns where I can use these. But when I saw that, I couldn't resist. Speaking of Frogwarts, the box is on sale through the end of the month, and they just announced that they will not be releasing the patterns for years 2 through 7 individually like they did this year with year 1. They said maybe eventually after all 7 years are concluded, they'll do it as like one big bundle of patterns so you can get the whole thing. But they're going to be exclusive to the boxes. So if you really, really want all of these patterns and you want to be able to do them within the next 7 years, then sign up for the box because they will be exclusive until 6 years from now or however long. So I'm doing it. A bunch of Flosstubers that I know are doing it. So come join us. It's also, the retreat is a couple days before my birthday. So I'm using this as like my birthday present to myself. Depending on what time the retreat is supposed to be, like, you know, online, I'll probably end up taking those days off of work. So yeah, so I'm very excited about Frogwarts. So if you want to do that, if you want the patterns, sign up for it before the end of the month. Probably the sooner better than later in this case, because I know that they have sold over half of their stock. So go purchase it if you want to do it. Okay, so the next thing that I ordered, this was just one that was fun, and it was on sale, but it was expensive, so I had to buy it. And that would be the Exploding TARDIS fabric. Because it was so expensive, because it's not like printed anymore, I only got half a yard. I plan on making this into a project bag, but I'm going to practice with the other fabrics that I showed you last week before attempting to do this one so that I don't waste it, because this is like my favorite Doctor Who pattern ever, so I don't want to screw it up. I also purchased Shannon Bromo. I do not know how to say her full last name, but she's Shannon Bromo on Instagram and all that stuff. She was doing a destash, and she posted this piece of fabric for sale, so I scooped it up. This is a 16 count Aida in, I think it's Country French Rain, I think is what it's called. It's like a bluish gray color. I have an idea of what pattern I want to use with this, but I'm still debating it, so I'm not going to tell you which one. Let it be a surprise. So that was just something, and I got this like today, like an hour ago in the mail. So then, the other thing that came along with my fabric for my Christmas list is crinkles. My Fight Night fabric. I got 2 of the same thing. This is a 32 count Lugana in the colorway Oat. So it's just a nice neutral color. I saw Janet of Janet Jabber got some of this on the last Fight Night also. This color, I think she got a Jobelin. But, so the intention with this, and I have to do some measuring, the intention with this, with both of these, is to do the Owl Forest coffee and tea samplers. Which brings me to my next thing that finally arrived. Oh my gosh. I freaked out when these arrived in the mail yesterday. These are from Owl Forest. These are the floss packs specifically for the coffee and the tea samplers. So this is for the coffee sampler and this is for the tea sampler. And I was waiting to purchase the patterns until these came so that like I knew that I for sure had them and they didn't get lost in the mail from Russia. So now I can go purchase the patterns. Oh gosh, and because I felt like I was like, who knows how often I'm going to be purchasing from Russia. So why don't we just go ahead and get all the things. And by all the things, I don't really mean all the things, but I got the matching needle minders. So this is for the coffee sampler and this is for the tea sampler. So cute. I have no idea how much they were because everything on that website's in Russian rubles. No idea. So I have not opened these because they were so pretty in the packaging that I was like, I need to show them like this. They specifically dye them themselves. So all of these are hand dyed. The only ones that are not are the ecru and the white. I have to look on their website, but I think even this pink color is dyed. I could be wrong. And I'll go ahead and open one of them. So they come like so, and they come with a bobbin. And I think the ones that come in the kits come with the symbol on them. I could be wrong. But, so I or my husband can bobbinate these and then just stick them right into the thing. I love how they did this. This is so cool. Like, it just feels really cool. So, like, okay, we're gonna pull some of these out. Look at this. Look at this color. That is a beautiful color. I think my favorite though has to be this one. And I'm sad that there's only one. Look at that. That is a beautiful color. I would take 5,000 of these and use them in every single project in any way that I could. I love this color. I should have ordered an extra one. You can buy these flosses individually from Owl Forest. So like if you just wanted just this one to use on your sampler, or if you didn't want to buy the ecru because you could just go buy DMC ecru, you could do that. But as I mentioned before, Rocio is the one that mentioned, she did the 100 Owls stitch along that Owl Forest did, and she just used the DMC conversion. But when she compared hers to the model, she felt like hers was more muted, and I really wanted this to look like how it's supposed to look, you know, how they intended it to look. Oh, that was the other reason why I opened it. I wanted to see how some of these are going to show up. I think the ecru might be a problem. This is another one. I think everything else should be fine. All these should be fine. I think the ecru and the white, I'll have to do some test stitches. I might have to swap those out for a darker color, but I'm so happy these arrived. And shipping from Russia, at least on that order, did not take very long. I think it was shipped on Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve, and they arrived on Wednesday, on the 13th. So I think that's like 3 or 4 weeks, I think. So yeah, not bad at all. I would definitely order from them again. All things considered, that was quick shipping. So then, okay, my last bit of haul deserves an explanation. So as I mentioned in my Whip Parade 2 videos ago, that something that intrigues me, but I don't think I will ever do, is a HAID, a Heaven and Earth design, the full coverage pieces. I think that they are beautiful, and I am so intrigued by them, but I just feel like I'll never do one. And I started feeling that way about Mirabilias. And so, like Rocio, I really enjoy her channel, and Teresa Little Stitcher, I really enjoy her channel. And they do Mirabilias and HAIDs respectively. And so I would just watch their channels and kind of live through them vicariously as they stitched the Mirabilias and the HAIDs. I did find one HAID that is a pattern that I really love. And I did watch Teresa Little Stitcher's series about how to do a full coverage piece. And her example is using a HAID, and it made it seem less intimidating. So who knows? Maybe I will do a HAID sometime in my life. But I thought to kind of do a warm-up to that, I will do a Mirabilia. And so I ordered my first 2 Mirabilias. I ordered one from 123 Stitch, and I ordered the other from Fire Poppies. My Fire Poppies order arrived today, but my 123 Stitch one hasn't. So that one I will show you next week or whenever I get it. That will be the first one that I stitch, and that is Lady Justice. If you are new to my channel, I'm an attorney. So I felt like it was most appropriate to do Lady Justice as my first Mirabilia. And I was just going to leave it at that. And I bought from Fire Poppies, I bought the Krynic and the beads, and then there's another set of beads that's going to come with the 123 Stitch order that Fire Poppies didn't have. So look at these colors, beautiful. So, and this will also be my first time working with Krynic. I'm excited and nervous. But as I was looking at 123 Stitch, to see if there were any others that I liked enough that I would want to stitch them and have them hanging on my wall. Because I think Mirabilias are beautiful, but the vibe of them is not what I have in my home. My home is very farmhousey, and Mirabilias are definitely not that. With Lady Justice, the intent is to finish her, frame her, and hang her in my office. So I don't really care that she doesn't match my farmhouse theme. This one, I had to buy. So growing up, one of my favorite movies is, because I still love it, Sabrina, with Julia Ormond, Greg Kinnear, Harrison Ford. I fell in love with Harrison Ford from that movie. Well, and Star Wars and Indiana Jones, but I mean, Sabrina, as Linus, he's just amazing. So I fell in love with that movie. One of my favorite movies. I think I still have the CD of the soundtrack because the Sabrina Fair melody that they have, like the theme song, is just one of my favorite songs. So then sometime in, I think, high school, I found out that there was an original movie starring Audrey Hepburn as Sabrina. And I love Audrey Hepburn. And I have this, which is an art illustration by Holly Nichols. She's a fashion illustrator, and she does a lot of like famous people in dresses. So she does a lot for Met Gala dresses, and like she has one of Blake Lively when she was in that beautiful maroon and gold dress and she looked like a goddess. Like she does things like that. So this is Audrey Hepburn in Sabrina. And so when I saw this memorabilia, I said, oh, I have to do this. And her name's Sabrina. So this is Sabrina. Can you see the resemblance? So I did not order the supplies for her because I don't want to start her until I have some headway on Lady Justice. The only thing I might change is her hair color. She's a blonde here, and I kind of want her to be a brunette so that she looks more like Audrey Hepburn and Julia Ormond. But I love it. And Audrey hangs like in my, I kind of switch her out. Sometimes she'll hang in my bathroom, sometimes she'll hang in my closet. And so now I can have them both together. So my first memorabilia will be Lady Justice. My second will be Sabrina. And I like squealed when this came in today. I would love, okay, I do have to say the very first memorabilia that I saw that I fell in love with was Lady of the Flag, but you know, like who doesn't love her? But she's out of print and she's like at least $150 on eBay, and I think my husband would say no to that. And I think. So I will settle for Lady Justice and Sabrina. Sabrina Fair. Which, fun fact, Sabrina was a play first called Sabrina Fair, and then they turned it into a movie with Audrey Hepburn, and then they did the remake with Harrison Ford. So that is everything. That's like the big one that I'm like so excited about. I do have a couple more orders coming that should be coming, I'm hoping early next week. I don't know. But that's everything. And y'all, I told you this was going to be less than 30 minutes. It ain't. It's 37 minutes right now. So if you've stayed this long, we got to think of a good emoji this time. All right, help me. What do you guys think? I have to look at the emojis. What has been my most recently used? None of those. None of those. So if you've stayed this long, what am I? Tell me if you are drinking, where to go? If you are drinking coffee or tea, and use either the coffee cup or the teapot emoji, which it looks like, I don't remember this teapot being on there, so it looks like that teapot might be new. But there is a teapot right below the baby bottle. If you're drinking that, you can go ahead and tell me what you're drinking too. So I guess, any drink. Leave an emoji with any drink telling me what you're drinking. Are you joining me with the coffee? Are you drinking a cup of tea? For all my English friends like Sean, I'm sure she's probably drinking tea rather than coffee. Or are you watching this at night and enjoying a nice glass of wine? You tell me. I want to know because I'm nosy like that. But that's everything. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Let me know what you're working on. I always love knowing what everybody's working on because I obviously need to add more things to my to-do list. And we'll see. This might be my next project, my coffee sampler, because how could you not? How could you not just love these? And I look like a heathen holding them. My precious. Okay, name that movie. How could you not want to start this coffee sampler? I'm just rambling at this point. It's what I do at the end of every video, let's be real. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, a great week. Oh, Inauguration Day is next week, so I will have a start on that. But otherwise, who knows what I'm going to work on. We're just going to wing it this week. We're going to wing it. So I will see you all later. Bye, guys.